Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. It really helps out. And on today's video, we're going to be jumping into a 2011 Ford Fusion with a 2.5 engine in it. And we're pulling a code P0128, which usually means that the thermostat is stuck open on it. So we're going to go on ahead, we're going to replace the thermostat on this here. So stick around if you'd like to check it out. First thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be disconnecting our negative battery cable. It's going to be a size 8. Now the next step in order to go on ahead and replace the thermostat right here is we're going to want to drain some coolant out of here. Now there's a couple ways in which we can go about this right here. First option is to get under here and take out, there's a plastic service cover under here that uses size 7 bolts. So you can take that out from the bottom right here. But instead of doing that, I'm going to try and get up under here with a hose because there's a little barb under here you can put a hose on and get that drained. So we're going to try that first. Okay, it seems to be working here. My hose is a little bit too big, so I'm just having to hold it, but I feel it's a lot less of a mess than there would have been otherwise. Okay, so we've got our coolant drained into these two jugs right here. It stopped draining out about like a quarter of the way on this one right here. So we're going to call that right here. I think that should be good enough. Undoubtedly, there is going to be some that spills out when we take off our thermostat housing, but we have a catch pan to catch all that in, so let's get to it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to loosen these hose clamps on here, and then we can get these bolts out of here. These bolts are going to be a size 8. Okay, there's one hose clamp. Let's go on ahead and get this other one here too. One of these pick tools is going to be invaluable for this process right here because these hoses are pretty well on here. So you're kind of able to kind of run it around and break the seal a little bit with it. All right, there's one. It's probably going to leak a bit too. All right, not too bad. All right, hoses are off. So now we can go on ahead and take this off. Again, this is going to be a size 8 for there's 3 bolts on it here. Okay, got them all broken loose. Now we can get them out of there. Perfect. So we got this disconnected. We can pull it on out now. And there it is. So there is our thermostat. And now we can swap it out for the new one. I'm going to take this razor blade. I'm just going to run it over the surface. The thermostat housing and has a rubber gasket, so there shouldn't be any RTV or anything like that around this, but I always just like to make sure that it's nice and clean right here before we go ahead and install the new one here. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me. We're going to go on ahead and wipe it all up now, and then we can get ready to install our new one. Okay, now we can go on ahead and reinstall our new one. I've got a couple bolts in here to help align it, and then we'll get the third one in here last. For these bolts right here on the thermostat housing, you're going to want to tighten them down to about 80 to 89 inch-pounds from what I've been reading, or that's roughly around 7.5 foot-pounds. So I don't have a inch-pound torque wrench, and my regular torque wrench does not go that low. So I'm just going to do snug with my just my ratchet right here. But if you do have that type, again, 80 to 89 inch-pounds, or that's roughly around 7 to 7.5 foot-pounds. Perfect. So we got the bolts tightened down. Now we can go on ahead and put our hoses back on here. There's that one. There is this one right up here. These are actually going on a bit easier than I thought that they would, so that's good. All right, there we go. So there is the first hose. That looks good. Let's do the second one now here. Okay, now when it comes to filling back up our coolant in here, there's 2 ways in which we can go on ahead and do this. The first way would be the manual way, which this is a pressurized system right here, so the radiator does not have a fill spot on it. You would fill it through what they call the degas bottle. So if you did it the manual way, you would fill it up through here, and you would come over here, and you would look over by your transmission dipstick, and there's a little service port right here that you would open up with a screwdriver, and in turn that would allow it to burp out all the fluid right there. That can take a while and it can get pretty messy, So we're gonna try the other way, which is by drawing a vacuum on the system. Now, by putting a vacuum on the system, what we'll do is we'll take this tool right here that we picked up from Amazon. I'll have this linked in the description below. And in a nutshell, what we do is we put this into here, we draw pressure on it with an air compressor, and then from there, we'll be able to go on ahead and hook up a hose and have it siphon directly out of the coolant bottle into here, and it'll make it so there's no air bubbles that get into the system right here. So this is what we're gonna try, and let's get on it. Okay, now from my understanding, we wanna take one of these rings right here and we wanna fit it in, match it up to the tank right here. That looks pretty good to me. Then we wanna go on ahead and put this in here and then tighten this on down. So this is tightened down right here, nice and snug. With this installed right here, we can install this piece right here, just clips into here like so with a quick disconnect. Now we can go on ahead and hook up our air compressor and open our valve. It's gonna create a vacuum on the system. We want it to be between -50 and -60. And then once it's at that, we can shut off our valve, we can disconnect this, and we can hook up our hose that's gonna go into our coolant. And once we open this up, it should start filling the system. And then from my understanding, once you get down to the 0, it should be fully filled. We also wanna keep an eye down on our cold fill line right down here. So let's go on ahead and let's give it a shot. So it's climbing up right here. Okay, so now we are at a little bit over -60, which is fine. And we just want to keep an eye on it and make sure that it's not losing any pressure here for about a minute or two. We'll just make sure that it doesn't have any leaks. Assuming that it stays and there's no leaks on it, then we can go on ahead and hook up our other piece and we can go on ahead and fill our coolant here. Now you'll also see your radiator hoses are gonna collapse down with this like this, which is completely normal. As it fills it back up with the coolant, it'll go on ahead and it'll go back to normal here. While we're waiting to make sure that we don't have any leaks on the vacuum gauge in the tool right there, one thing I wanted to bring up here is the coolant. Now, in the 2011 Ford Fusions, they used a dark green coolant from Motorcraft. They don't produce that anymore. So I went to the dealership, I spoke with them, and they're now using the yellow antifreeze coolant here for the Fusions. They said it does not matter if you mix them, they will be fine. The main difference between this one and the dark green one was that it had some stuff in it that they didn't like for the newer motors. So this is the one they told me to go on ahead and use. They said it is a-okay to go on ahead and mix them, but go ahead and do some research on it for your car or your application, but this is what they told me for mine, so this is what I'm going with here. It has been a couple minutes here, and our gauge is staying exactly where it was before, so that is good. So we'll go on ahead and disconnect this out of here and get that out of the way. And now we're going to go on ahead and hook up this hose that we can put into our coolant. Got our hose into the coolant right here, and we're going to go on ahead and start filling it now. Now you do also want to keep an eye on your coolant in your jug right here that it's filling it with, and make sure you don't get any air sucked up into there. So we can see the gauge is slowly going down. That's as it's filling it up right here, which is what we want to see. This hose right here, this hose doesn't want to stay in the bottom, so you got to kind of pin it up against the side of the bottle and hold it there. Looks like it took about 1 gallon of the coolant right here, and we're pretty close to the mark on the reservoir. All right, so that should be it. I'm not going to try and top it off just yet right here, just because we're on an incline right here. So I think once we get it on a level ground, we should be right about at the fill mark right there. So we'll check that a little bit later, but I think we should more or less be pretty good on this here. And then last step is we'll go ahead and put our cap back on here. And then we will go on ahead and we will reconnect the negative terminal on the battery, and we should be good. All right, guys, looks like we're gonna have to move on to plan B. We will have to burp this thing manually right here. It did start to overheat, so I shut it off right here. We're gonna crack this valve back here and let it bleed out a bit here. So right here is going to be the bleed valve, and we're going to want to put a rag down here because it is going to leak out a bit right here. But we're going to want to go on ahead and just crack this open, and then that way we can go on ahead and bleed out some of the pressure or some of the air in the system right here. So careful if it's hot, but you can see there's the air hissing out right there, so that's... So it's gonna leak out, so it is gonna make a little bit of a mess, but you just deal with it, guys. So what we're looking for is we're looking for a steady trickle of coolant to come out of this right here. Right now, looks like still maybe have a little bit of air in there, but we just want to go on ahead and keep that loose and keep a rag there to let it burp out. And then I also have loosened this a little bit right here as well. So it's actually taking it down a bit, so we're going to go on ahead and I'm going to fill a little bit more coolant into there to help it out. And here you can see there's some bubbles coming out of it right here every now and then, so we're going to let it keep running and push those bubbles all out until it's a nice continuous stream of coolant coming out, and then we should be good. But as you guys can see, there's not really any bubbles coming out of here anymore. It's more of a steady stream of coolant flowing out the sides right here. So we're going to go on ahead and I'm going to let this go for a couple more minutes just to make sure I don't see any more bubbles, and then we'll go ahead and lock it down, run it, and we'll see how it does here. All right, I think that is going to do it for our video right here. Temperature has been holding steady about 15 minutes. We've been alternating the RPMs a bit right here, and everything is looking great here. So we're going to call this a win right here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out, and we will see you on the next one.